What's up, Goblin Nation? It's Gibrian, and I know you guys have been waiting for a while for me to upload, and don't worry, I'm not abandoning the channel. I've been a little busy, and Rell still feels like it's years away, so I haven't really felt motivated to post, but I'll be honest, I miss the Rell community, so I'm back for today's video. It's been a long time since I've gone over suggestions, but some of you guys love the series, so I decided this was the best way to come back. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've been starving for content, check out my friend Atlas the Relic's YouTube channel. His content's been improving, and I think some of you guys will enjoy his opinions on things. Let him know Gibrian sent you if you stop by. Some of these suggestions have been sitting there for quite a while, so without further ado, let's get into it. First, there's actually a theory that this is the real Rell commenting nice edit. This is definitely a fake account, bro. Like, come on. Next up, we have item gambling, where you would pay money and sacrifice an item to gamble for a better item or an upgrade and stuff like that. You have a chance to lose it. I'm always a fan of gambling. I know it's as long as you're not spending real money, what's the problem? You know what I mean? Like if it's in-game currency, I fully support it. I think RNG makes things more fun. So I like this one. You just need to write this so I can understand it better. Like, come on, bro. What are you even saying here? Now we have the next suggestion, which is drugs. I like the period at the end so you know they're serious. Also, I can really appreciate as a YouTuber the clickbaity title when they're really just talking about medicine for doctors. I like medicine. I like the idea of like a doctor specialization. I don't think we're going to get one. But it's a cool idea, and I definitely would like more stuff for the rules like cook and doctor and that kind of thing. Next, we have another suggestion for instruments. Now, we've seen this, before since people want to play on the boat while they sail. The reason I singled this one out, though, I like that they actually talk about being able to type in a song ID. I played a previous like JoJo game where you could get like a boombox and then type in a song's ID code and it would play. And it was just really fun to mess with people. And I think this would be cool if you could play like Minecraft song parodies while you're on your boat, just as like a little bit of goofiness. I'll give this one a 10 out of 10. So the same person also posted a two-part suggestion where they want the dark fruit to work the same way it does in the anime, where it can disable people's devil fruits when you hit them. I like this idea. It seems a little unbalanced depending on what the rest of the moveset is. I know people always want like every devil fruit to get unique M1 effects or, more stuff to make it unique to the actual fruit. I just think some of this stuff's too hard for the developers to put in the game. Either that or the game's going to get delayed for another 2 years just so they can add this stuff. So up next, we have a suggestion to add romancing NPCs to the game because someone's never talked to a girl before, and I think they want everyone to be able to talk to a girl in game. This should also be called the Discord mod update. No offense, Atlas. Oh, and if you didn't know, Atlas the Relic is one of my admins in my Discord server. Next up, we have a suggestion about food. This one says all food should heal you, but certain food or ingredients should give you special advantages. I think this is kind of confirmed. We're not sure the food heals you, but we know they do have bonuses, so hopefully they confirm the healing part, because there's not going to be like health potions, so we don't really know how you heal aside from over time. Next up, we have a big suggestion about race buffs and debuffs. You can read through these. There's a bunch of them. Like the human one, for example, will buff your Haki and then make you walk faster. Some of these seem really busted. I don't think they're going to do anything like this because we haven't heard anything about race buffs. I think if we do get any, they'll be pretty minor. My hope is that eventually we get a big update with race awakenings. So maybe these could be the ones that give you the buffs, or at least the bigger buffs. I think this would be really cool for like a bigger update later after everyone's had time with the game. I still think these would be a nightmare to actually balance, but who knows, maybe they can pull it off. And next we have this suggestion about clashing, where they hope that the clashing will be kind of automatic, like you'll automatically win if your move does a lot more damage than the enemies. The thing is, I don't know if you can level up your fruit's damage like that. I know someone else was saying that in the replies. I think the way they want people to get better is through actually skill instead of just like leveling it up like fruit mastery in other games, They've talked a lot about how they want like low level players to be able to beat a high level player if they're good enough. So maybe you can get stronger. It's just not enough to make a difference when the person's way better than you at the game, This next one isn't a suggestion, but more of an appreciation for how Rell is handling movement. I really agree with this because honestly, Geppo is really a crutch in every other One Piece game. Everyone can just jump around and you don't really need to do anything. Though in a lot of the games you just fly using a devil fruit. So I really like how important vehicles are in this game and how traversal is so different compared to other One Piece games. So that's pretty cool. I agree with this. Next up, we have the best suggestion I've ever seen personally. This one's by Reblio. It's called Rell Zoan fruit. He definitely didn't tell me to talk about it, but so it's like basically it's. And next up, we have a suggestion with a bunch of weapons they could add to the game. Some of these are based on ones from the show, and some of these are completely unique. No, because so many of these are based on famous weapons from the show, I feel like a lot of them will end up being blueprints that we can craft. Obviously, I don't know that for sure, but some of these, like the slingshot, for example, it seems kind of obvious. Like, that's Usopp's main weapon. It would be really weird if they don't add it. And other things such as claws, they seem pretty likely, especially from like a tiger boss, you know, that kind of thing. So I would expect to see some of these at least. If they don't end up adding them, you can always just post a suggestion again after the game releases, and I'll probably talk about it again. This suggestion is for the Kira Kira Nomi, or the diamond fruit. This one's in blocks fruit, but it really sucks and is low tier. And I think with the way Rell sees is making all fruit kind of balanced, I think it'd be really cool to see some of these lower fruits. Especially because some of these lower tier fruit are actually really interesting. Like diamond is such a unique concept. It's kind of similar to barrier, but you don't project it. You're just kind of growing diamond, so it's really unique in that way. And I think it'd be really interesting to see how they come up with movesets or this sort of thing. Next, we have the suggestion to add mini ships or sub ships. These would be smaller ships that can come out of your ship, similar to the way rowboats work on big ships. Am I crazy, or did they confirm this for submarines? Like, I feel like I have a memory of like them having the boat with like a small like submarine port inside. Maybe I imagined that back when the submarines were first revealed, but I don't know. If this one isn't confirmed, it definitely should be. I know the submarine they showed off was too big for this idea, but they could definitely come out with like a one-man submarine that would work for this. I think it'd be great. I think stealth needs to be a bigger thing in this game. Now, this suggestion's really cool because it's based on some of the newer info we've gotten. A lot of the suggestions we get are like for weapons or stuff that you could have come up with forever ago, but this one's about a Haki poster. If you don't remember, the posters were like modifiers you could add to your abilities to make them stronger, and this one would give you the ability to kill someone with observation haki, meaning you would be able to turn it off so they couldn't use observation. This would be honestly kind of annoying if you ran into it, because it means they spec'd one of their abilities just to stop you from using your ability. So you're both losing an ability in this case. This could be really useful if everyone starts being observation haki spammers. Like maybe it ends up being meta, and then in order to counter it, you can just equip this card. That way you don't have to deal with like the really sweaty people who just main observation. Now, another devil fruit suggestion we have here is the Kuku no Mi. For those who don't know, this devil fruit allows the user to turn anything into food, but the downside is the food tastes bad. And the example they give here is that in the game you would be able to turn things into food to cook easily, but the boost would be lower, or I guess debuffed. Honestly, I don't think you should nerf the food. If you're sacrificing your entire devil fruit slot for like a cooking fruit, it better be really good, honestly. You know what I mean? And I like the idea of devil fruit that aren't all combat based, because that's not how they are in the show. If they really wanted to balance this to make it stronger, they could even make it so food that someone else cooks, or any food you cook, gives you enhanced duration or effects, just to make it better overall. And then you can kind of just be like let's say you made your fist or a sword, for example, because obviously you can't use the cooking fruit to fight. Unless they give you a frying pan melee weapon, that could be really cool. You know what, scratch that. Make this the best fruit in the entire game. I think that would be really awesome. And for the last devil fruit suggestion, we have the Goku fruit. Move 1 would be the Kamehameha, move 2 would be the Spirit Bomb, and each of these moves would basically ban whoever gets hit from Roblox for a week, and then everyone in the server gets kicked. Now the difference is the Spirit Bomb would ban everyone on the server for longer. You know what's funny is I said that was the last devil fruit suggestion, and then I look at the rest of my suggestions I have to go through, and they're all devil fruit, so I guess I'm a liar. This suggestion is for the arms fruit, which would allow you to create weapons out of your body. I think this one's cool. I think you'd come up with some really cool combos with it, and I'd love to see it in game. Not really much more to say about that. Oh, actually, I just noticed one of the moves is the chainsaw move, and I just thought about how cool it would be if this devil fruit had you turn your arms into blades, and then they could come out with like a skin that turns you into Chainsaw Man. And I know people don't like different animes in it, but if it's just a skin and all it really does is turn your arms into chainsaws instead of swords, that could be awesome. And I'm just now realizing the same person wrote the last 3 fruit suggestions, so, you know, I guess you really wanted to be in a video. Now, this suggestion is for the spin fruit. Kind of a boring fruit, but you do you, go off king, I guess. I always think it's interesting whenever people come up with full movesets. It's kind of like a creative writing thing, you know? Now, this fruit is actually a great idea because I haven't even seen anyone mention it, and I think the genie fruit would be so cool. Just like, because it's so different. And just imagine all the different variants they could do for skins for the genie. Like, you can just dress up the genie as whatever you want. And it's kind of like a stand from JoJo, so that's like another layer that makes it really cool. They don't really show it doing too much in the show, but I think it'd be really cool to have some creative liberty and give it like really unique genie moves. I'd love to see this one in the game. Oh, and I actually took this last suggestion from the official Rell's Discord. This one's to add waves near islands when there's a big PvP happening or like a strong Conqueror's Haki. I think this would be really easy for them to do, and it just adds so much atmosphere. Like imagine you're riding past an island and you just see big waves like emanating from the island just to let you know that there's like a big clash going on. I think this kind of thing would be really cool. It's easy to do and it really like adds to the scale of some of these fights, because obviously we're just doing like a 1v1, but it would make it feel so much more epic, you know, like an actual anime fight. And that's all I got for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm really glad to be back after all this time, and hopefully it doesn't take me too long to make another video. I don't know what I'll do, to be honest. It's kind of hard to come up with ideas since we're in such a big drought right now regarding info. They've posted some stuff in subs, but nothing really crazy. And obviously nothing I can even talk about, so there's that. They said they're still aiming for December, but they don't know if there'll be delays. I'm really hoping there's no delays, but I don't see how we're not going to get a delay. Like, at the earliest, we're getting it at the end of December, and I'm pretty sure we're getting it next year. Hopefully before spring. Who knows? As always, this has been Gibrian, and see you next time.